Hello, hello everybody. David back for another Final Finds. I know it's been a while, but back for some more. I got a nice little pile. For a couple of weeks, I wasn't really buying anything because it's just been weird with money lately. But whatever. This is the first I got is a long overdue for the great Dave Gibson. Local bandography here on Vinyl Community. A wonderful VCLT from him. Therapy off Volar Records. I think this is a couple years old. This is some great hardcore punk. I want to say he's been a fan of my local Florida punk videos, which I have another one brewing. Maybe I'll have that one out next week. I don't know. Waiting on one more thing to come in, but Dave, he's one of those guys. He's kind of musically along my lines. He likes a lot of different things as long as it's what I would consider serious music. This pop shit that's out nowadays, not serious. Disco, I'm sorry, that's not serious music. This, serious music. So Dave, I'm sorry, I've had this for like probably a month now. It's long overdue. Thank you for a wonderful VCLT. It's single-sided. The other side is etched. Let's see if I can get this on camera. I don't know if you're able to see that or not. But very cool. Grateful to have it. Dave, thank you very much. Gone is Gone. Echolocation. Double record off of Rise Records. This is sort of a supergroup album. Came out a couple years ago. I want to say 2016 or 17. It's sort of a collaboration supergroup featuring members of bands. What's it called? At the DriveIn, Queens of the Stone Age, and Mastodon. The vocals are coming from the Mastodon guy who's doing bass on it, and it sort of has a lot of that Mastodon sort of vibe to it, but it's more along the lines, kind of like, think of like a stoner, like shoegaze. That's what it is. It's stoner shoegaze. But I really enjoyed the hell out of it on lovely white vinyl. And it's really good. The drummer is from At the Drive-In, the drummer of At the Drive-In, who I really like because he always just has, something's just, I would call it off, but he uses like off time signatures, which is fantastic. Always like it. Great album. Dave Liebman, Sweet Hands. Some 70s fusion featuring a bunch of really good players: Frank Tulsa, Bedell Roy, Charlie Hayden, John Abercrombie, of course, Dave Liebman, Richie Bayrock, Don Alias. It's just straight up 70s fusion. Sometimes it's funky, sometimes it's rocky. It's all killer. Cheap find, one I've been wanting for a while, just never got around to it. One that's not so cheap, not expensive, but not so cheap. Ainsley Dunbar, Blue Whale. This is a killer album. This originally came off of the French BYG label. This is a mid-70s press off of Charlie Records. This is a cool, you could almost call it kind of a fusion record. It's more of a blues rock record, but there's elements of kind of like a fusion prog sound to it. It's really good. Ainsley Dunbar, drummer. He played with Frank Zappa, and they actually do a cover of Willie the Pimp on here, which is absolutely great. Most of the songs were written by, what's his name? Paul Williams, who provides vocals on this. Paul Williams from the Juicy Lucy group, UK guy. But, it's just a solid rock record, but it's more than rock, it's killer. This is one I've been really excited about. I found out, and it came out on my birthday, but I had to get it. Deftones, New Ohms. Ohms or Ohms? I don't know how you want to pronounce that. This features the return of Terry Date producing it and recording it, who worked with Deftones with the first 4 albums, I believe, first 4 albums, yes. And their last album was a bit of a departure for them. This is kind of a return to their sound, if you would, although they've been really diverse from their their later material to their newer material. But this, I would kind of say, is along the lines of like Diamond Eyes. It's fucking great. And it's one of those records that I've been listening to it digitally for weeks now, but I only spun it for the first time a couple days ago. And it sounds so much better on vinyl, which is not always the case. Not always the case with modern recording. So it was really cool. It really opened up when I spun it. So it was kind of like hearing it again for the first time. It's fucking great. It sounds like Deftones to me. I mean, drums sound like the drummer, the guitarist sounds like the guitarist, the Chino sounds like he's always sounds. Killer album. Loved them ever since I was in middle school. So, Fire Orchestra Actions. This is Fire Orchestra, but they're not doing original. They're covering they're covering a tune from this. It's a Polish guy, so forgive me. I probably have his name pronouncing it horrible, but Krzysztof Penderecki. So it's very sort of orchestrated free jazz feel to it, which is pretty cool. It's different from the other albums, which have always been a bit more groovy or oriented. This is just, I mean, drop the needle, let it carry you away. Absolutely excellent. Anything Fire Orchestra, I buy. This album is killer. It's also a handful to say, so I'm going to read the spine, you'll forgive me, but it's Akira Sakata and Jim O'Rourke with Chika Morachi and Merzbow. Flying Basket. This is some killer, top order free jazz with electronic and noise elements to it. And it's an epic. It's 2 discs, 4 sides, but it's all one track broken into 4 pieces. So it's, like an hour and 10, 11 minute long track. But each side has its own feel. Some of them are very slow. Some of them are very more noisy. But it's all great. It's another one like the Fire Orchestra. You drop the needle and you let it carry you where you're going. You flip the side and it takes you in a totally different direction. I mean, fucking great. Akira Sakata is one of those Japanese well-known free jazz saxophonists. I've only recently come across him. And this is killer. It's a couple years old. I think it's from 2014 or 15. So I was able to pick it up pretty cheap. Absolutely excellent. And the last few I got Acid Mother's Temple related. Uchu, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Uchu, side project of Kawabata Makoto with somebody else. So Anyo on voice and Higashi Hiroshi, who is also in Acid Mother's Temple. This is ambient guitar with sort of this wanting electronic feel to it, but it says no synthesizer, no sample, no programming, only guitars around here. So the heavy use of effects. I mean, sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's loud and noisy, but I mean, Kawabata Makoto, I eat it all up. Acid Mother's Temple and Melting Prize of UFO. How was this moment ever recorded? I believe yes. How was the decisive moment recorded? They say it's a live album, but there's no background, crowd noise or anything. But it features Pink Lady Lemonade, You're the Dancing Queen, which is kind of like a disco Pink Lady Lemonade, and Blue Velvet Blues, which is a kind of like Pink Lady Lemonade is a staple, is a staple amongst Acid Mother's Temple records. And it's one of those songs that it's drony and it's long and it's slow. And in this one, I feel like it's even more drony, more long, and more slow. It's fucking great. Heavy use of feedbacking guitars that is very musical. Sometimes feedbacking guitars is sort of, noise. No, it's very musical. Really love it. And Pink Lady Lemonade Double Sweet Sucker Punch. Another variation of Pink Lady Lemonade from Aston Mother's Temple. It features Lemon Ecstasy, Pink Lady Lemonade Sweet Sucker Punch, then Pink Lady Lemonade, your Hyper Sweet Sucker Punch, and Black Summer Song. What can I say? 2 variations of one of my favorite, Pink Lady Lemonade. I mean, it's the only song by Aston Mother's Temple I know how to play. Well, at least I know how to play, the rhythm part. But it is one of their more beautiful songs, which is they record over and over and over again in various different ways. And I mean, I eat it up. I can't help it. So don't look at the movies. Don't report me. Who cares? That's all I got for you. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave me some comments. And have a great Sunday. Have a good week. Be safe. Be well.